My wife cheated with our wedding videographer. I can't believe this is something I'm going through right now. We've known each other for 13 years and been married for just over 1 year. He filmed our wedding, watched my happiest day of my life, and then proceeded to destroy everything. I've tailored my life around being with her, passed on amazing opportunities because I wanted to be with her. And now I have nothing apart from lifelong trust issues. I only found this out 2 days ago. I don't know how I'm going to continue. Everything is just so raw and painful. I never knew how painful my heart can feel. I just want my life back. To the people asking for updates, we were on a weekend away with friends. She fell asleep and I took her phone and went in the living room. I know it was wrong of me to go through her private stuff, but I did because I needed the truth. The way she spoke about me to him was disgusting. I feel so vile. The way that they've sexed each other makes me feel sick. I phoned my mom and siblings and told them all while sobbing. She came downstairs and I had to confront her. No other choice. She just sat there and took everything. I wasn't horrible, but I told her how hurt I was and how this has ruined my life. We didn't want to ruin anyone else's weekend, so we packed our stuff and left at 3 a.m. She spent the entire car drive crying, and I just sat there quiet, completely numb. When we got home after 4 hours, I got home and broke down. I'm leaving my home and everything LV built here. All my friends, my hobbies, the life I wanted so badly, gone. I've never sobbed so visceral like that. My mom drove up and picked me up, and I just grabbed some stuff to help me last for a couple of weeks, and of course I took the cats. I'm at my mom's house now, not slept. The cats are so stressed since my mom already has 4 cats. It's heartbreaking. I've sent the "we're divorcing" text, even though it's so hard, because I can't just stop loving her overnight, because LV loved her for 13 years. I'd do anything to just have my life back. I want it back so bad. After all of this, I don't think she's a bad person, but she has done a terrible thing. I know I'll probably be blasted for saying that, but like I said, I can't stop caring for her overnight. I wish I just had not looked at her phone so I could have been happy just a little while longer, even if it sounds self-destructive. Edit. It's day 3 and everything is still raw and unsettled. I've taken comfort from a lot of these messages. I do appreciate the advice given, but I'd respectfully like to ask for the advice to stop. I've took it all on board. I really have. I need time to heal and just be with my family. I don't think it's healthy to keep looking at this thread. Thank you all. Much love. I have been friendzoned by my wife. Married for 6 years, together for 8. Overall, we've had a happy marriage, have had common goals for what we want to do in life, and we even started working together a year or so into our relationship. But something happened at the start of this year. I got a promotion which required me to work long and wonky hours, which left us less time together. Maybe one day a week that we could go out and do things. I felt like we were making a concerted effort to spend time together, and I called her on my breaks and when I was on the way home. Stuff like that. Fast forward to 2 months ago. I noticed she's been very invested in her online friend group that she games with and had been spending long hours with them even on days that we were supposed to spend time together. This had mostly dried up save for a lone, isolated incident where she became overwhelmed by while at work and felt like she wanted to tackle the nearest guy. She rushed home, and we had great sex. But something lurked in the back of my mind about this incident. We haven't had any sort of sexual intimacy since this event, which was maybe 3 months ago. Anyway, 2 months ago we end up having a fight where I, in essence, say that she doesn't really want to be in this relationship. And that's when she drops the bombshell that she had fallen out of love with me over the last month or so. The timetable for falling out of love is nebulous at this time, but it's most certainly this year. I was devastated because I knew something funky was happening, but we'd been so close and so in sync for years that I didn't even consider that she had lost her feelings for me. She said she still cares for me dearly, but sees me as sort of like a neighbor or roommate or something. I spiraled into depression and decided to devote every waking hour to saving our relationship. We took a week off work and went on many dates, and I tried everything I knew to do to reconnect. At our zenith, she said she loved me like a family member, but that she just wasn't in love or romantic love. So a couple days ago, I'm like, okay, maybe you should get your own place for a while. I'm still very much in love and attracted and care so much for her, but the sting of rejection every time I look in her eyes is extremely painful. She had said at various points over the last couple months that she had a longing for something new. Somewhere new. An adventure. That's the key reason for me to ask her to leave. I'm not going to trap her in a marriage where she knows she can't fulfill her end of things, and she knows I'm unhappy. My question is this. My family and friends have been disagreeing with our plans moving forward and said we should exhaust all efforts before moving into a break or separation territory. I feel like I'm smothering her with my needs and desires while she lives here. Do I have my head up my behind? Or is this just kind of how marriages go after a time? My parents had long years of lovelessness and eventually divorced. Maybe things just eventually morph into a friendship over time, and I'm the strange one for still wanting intimacy? The long and short is she has a new boyfriend after having moved out a couple months ago. He's someone she's been talking to since the beginning of the year. Only recently it's escalated, supposedly. I only learned of this due to a mutual coworker like fifth-hand knowledge. I called my soon-to-be ex-wife to get confirmation. I said to her, "Some news has gotten back to me. Do you have anything you'd like to get off your chest?" After a long pause, she says, "I went on a date. I knew this already, so I said, and it went well. And there was a fainting incident in the hot tub. And what? And y'all's got freaky, right? Well, we tried some things. Girl, don't lie to me. Yes, we were intimate. Okay, bye." My 2% hope that maybe eventually we'd get back together is officially gone. We haven't even filed any paperwork, and she's already done nasty with an online dude. I get it. I see. I'm aware. Now I'm going back through our relationship and really looking at things. She really isn't a good friend or family member or person. She was a good wife until she wasn't. Thank y'all for your feedback and support during this time. It's been a huge eye-opener as far as how much emotional capacity I was giving her on a daily basis. I didn't have anything left for anyone else. Now I'm spending tons of time with friend and family trying to form and keep connections. There's always good with the bad, and that's what I've noticed so far. My brother moved in with me, and he's honestly been a godsend. She rejected my proposal. Am I wrong for ending it? For context, my girlfriend and I have been together for 6 years, and over Thanksgiving weekend I took her on a week-long trip to Hawaii with the intention of proposing to her. I even asked her parents for their blessing and showed them the ring a couple days before we left for the trip. We have talked about marriage before, and we've both agreed that we want to marry each other. So the idea of it is nothing new and actually a frequent topic. The issue is that she wanted a grand wedding proposal similar to the ones you might see on TikTok and Instagram. Big, marry me, letters on the beach, rose petals on the ground, lights, mariachi, etc. I was absolutely on board on doing that for her if it made her happy, but that was something to be planned at a beach back at home since I wouldn't have the resources to plan it for a trip to somewhere we've never been, especially because we booked everything as a last-minute vacation just 5 days prior. Ironically, after she sent me videos of people vacationing in Hawaii. I believe this would be a great opportunity though. I planned to propose to her on the day we arrived. I carried the ring in my pocket all day waiting for a good opportunity to ask her, knowing it wasn't going to be a grand proposal like she had hoped, but I thought because of the circumstances she would be happy. However, we had some completely unnecessary arguments and I decided to postpone because I didn't want to do it after a bitter day. Second day there, we had booked a reservation to go parasailing. I didn't want to risk losing the ring, so I left it back at the hotel. We didn't get back to the hotel until 5 p.m. and we started getting ready to go back out in the city. By this time, it was already starting to get dark. She said before that she would want a sunset proposal, and knowing that I couldn't organize any of the other things she had in mind for a proposal, the sunset was the only thing I had. I missed my chance on that, but we still went out to dinner and drinks. We came back to the hotel afterwards because she was tired. I was too. It was an eventful day. I let her rest for a bit, and around 10:30, I convinced her to go on a night walk with me at the beach. This was when I planned to propose to her. We got to the beach. The city was very much still awake, and the lights of the buildings and streets, combined with the bright moon, illuminated the ocean beautifully. We stood there hugging and kissing, both knowing it was a beautiful and intimate moment. I started telling her how much I love her and how I want to be with her my entire life, etc. As I started to get on my knee and reaching my pocket for the ring, she stopped me. I hope you're not about to propose to me right now. This isn't what I expected. My heart dropped. I got back up and stood speechless before starting to walk back to the hotel. I was in no mood to talk about the situation and told her we should talk about it tomorrow. We talked about it the next day and she insists on me doing it again. But this time, the right way, during sunset. I tell her I can't do that because she rejected me already. She tells me she didn't reject it, just simply it wasn't how she would have wanted it to happen. We spent the next 4 days in Hawaii in a very tense state, but we had to deal with it until we got back home. We lived together and for the first night she went to sleep with her parents. Now she came back, but I don't want to be home with her there. What can be the outcome of the situation? I obviously didn't want this to happen during our vacation, but I can't see it other way. Is this a valid reason for me not wanting to be with her anymore? I also don't think it's right for me to redo the proposal. Update. So we had another conversation about it once she came back home from her parents. She's still adamant that I failed to meet her expectations. Admittedly, I understand I didn't do any of the things she had visualized it to be. I want to emphasize that we're young, and the proposals she's seen on social media are nothing but trends. These proposals have become popular in maybe the last year or two. Prior to that, she's told that she wants an intimate proposal and especially away from the public. People are telling me I'm wrong because I knew exactly what she wanted and didn't do it. She also tells me that a proposal is solely about the female and what she wants. I think that's bullshit. I know I've told her that I was on board on doing her fantasy proposal, yet I changed my mind about that. I didn't want to plan this huge thing at my hometown beach just for the spectacle of it. I preferred to do it in a way I knew we'd both enjoy. In Hawaii especially. Something that really bugs me is she says that I made the trip seem like just another trip. Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. This is literally our first ever vacation flight together. The same night that happened, we had brunch, went parasailing, and had a wonderful teppanyaki dinner. Am I selfish for changing the whole proposal up without consulting her? I don't understand why some people say I'm selfish for not doing what she wanted. I still did something that objectively should make any woman ecstatic. I think my focus now is shifting from wondering if it's okay for me to break up with her for turning me down, to wanting to break up for her ungratefulness in general. Another reason why she said it wasn't up to her expectations was because we were both dressed casually. She wanted me to give her prior notice that something special was going to happen by telling her to get glammed up. We had the breakup talk. My girlfriend has always been a bit self-centered. I've known that and have been able to put up with it. About 4 months ago, she started having therapy sessions. I don't know how long they last, what days they are, or what they talk about. I do know that she has become an entirely different person. She's been more compassionate and cooperative with me, the things I've always wished for her to be more. This caused me to be fully ready to commit to a life with her, hoping this new mentality is permanent. Anyway, she talked to her therapist and told me that she asked her one question. Do you like surprises? She tells her of course she does. She explains to her that as her boyfriend, I most likely know that, and was trying to do something heartfelt and unscripted. No mariachi, glamorous dress, or big letters, just us two. She further tells her that if she truly felt in her heart that she wants to live a life with me, all of the other superficial stuff shouldn't matter. She's apologizing to me, telling me she really regrets doing that and assuring me she would have said yes anyway. My biggest regret is I'll never really know what she would have said, though in my gut, I'm not 100% sure she would have said yes. Her first thoughts when that was happening was completely dismissive of me and disrespectful, something that for once I feel like I can't take anymore. I'm standing my ground, telling her I've swallowed my pride way too many times in the past, and we should go through with it. I'll be sleeping on the couch. She'll be packing her things tomorrow and going to live with her parents.